Today we're going to talk about why Nick Saban believes that Georgia is still one of the best 4 football teams in the country, but also why he didn't think they would get into the playoff, including why he ranked them 5th on his ballot, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, my goodness, Nick Saban throwing darts wants all the smoke, and I am here for it. This is one of the things that I love most about college football is the trash talk and the subtle jabs. We're going to get into that, but also the undercurrent for this video and going forward really until December 29th is this t-shirt. Says, don't get it twisted, Bama don't want us. Not the other way around. You know what they say. We want Bama. Nah, it's that Bama doesn't want Oklahoma. 3-1-1, 2 shots to beat Oklahoma this century, lost both times, including Nick Saban, 2014 Sugar Bowl to TK9 and company. And that's kind of where we're at with this because, look, we know that there's a lot of folks who believe that Oklahoma does not deserve to be the 4th team in this college football playoff. To say nothing of how soft most people believe that Notre Dame is. Nobody's out here picking Notre Dame to win the national title outside of Golden Domer fans. But Nick Saban, on stage at the press conference before the College Football Awards show where the 4 playoff coaches are taking questions, says with a straight face in front of Lincoln Riley, no less, that he believed that when they played Georgia, they're one of the best 4 teams in the country. When he was pressed about why did he rank them 5th in his coaches poll ballot, he said, because with 2 losses, I did not think they would get into the college football playoff. Which, number one, is to say, yeah, because the criteria are the criteria. And while everybody likes to throw out this argument that it is the 4 best teams and not the 4 most deserving best teams, that somehow wins and losses don't matter. And that's why we play the games, right? We play the games to see who won and who lost. And you can't just say these are glorified exhibitions and, well, that's the most complete team to my eye, even though they don't have a conference championship, even though they have a 20-point loss to LSU, and they choked away the SEC title game to Alabama. Now, if Georgia beats Alabama, we're having an entirely different conversation. But as it is right now, that Nick Saban had the gumption to get on stage and say what he believes, right? I'm not going against the guy because he doesn't believe what he says. Also just kind of smacks of where we're at in this conversation as far as who's saying what. And this is one of the reasons why I kind of wish that Lincoln Riley would have picked up the phone and done a little stumping for Oklahoma and kind of put Oklahoma's case out there a little bit more. Because, yeah, it probably would not have changed the way that the committee goes about ranking the teams and getting the 4 teams that they believe need to be in the playoff into the semifinals. But it certainly would have pushed back against what Kirby Smart had did and what Nick Saban has done, proliferating this idea that Georgia is one of the 4 best teams in the country and somehow got snubbed with 2 losses. Look, it's real simple. Win, right? Because when we're talking about Power 5 conference teams and we're talking about playing ranked teams on a schedule and we're talking about how much conference championships mean or don't mean and we're talking about how much neutral site wins mean or don't mean, I think it's crazy that we're still having a conversation about whether or not Georgia is one of the 4 best teams in college football. Here's the thing. A lot of folks believe that Georgia is one of the 4 best teams in college football, just looking at their team and looking at the competition that they played and looking at the way they went about their business. And they had this lead against Alabama where nobody seemed like they were going to beat Alabama this year and gave it away. Also lost to a backup quarterback, but nobody wants to say that because Jalen Hurts is not just any backup quarterback. He's 26-2, still sits on the bench. However, I just kind of think that Nick Saban wants to poke the bear. And maybe he wants to poke the bear, I don't know, to prove a point that Kirby Smart worked for him for a long time and that I expect the guys to kind of be like brothers because they worked so long together. But my goodness, this is taking it to a whole nother level, in which case, if you're Oklahoma, do you not hear that and get just a little tweet? I mean, I'm not talking about fans. I know fans are tweet. I'm tweet, obviously. I'm talking about players. If you hear that, if you hear the 10 in his voice, if you read that quote and he says, I'm not going to go back on what I said what I said and I believe it. And the reason that I didn't rank them in the coaches poll in the top 4 is because I didn't think they'd have a prayer of getting in the college football playoff selection semifinal because they got 2 losses. Well, hey man, you obviously believe what you believe, so just rank them how you rank them. I don't know what to take from Nick Saban on that. Either he's afraid to rank the teams as he believes they should go because he knows the blowback he's going to get, and yet he goes out in public and says that's one of the 4 best teams in the country. Look, man, then rank them how they're supposed to be ranked according to your coaches poll. Don't come out here and tell me that you ranked them 5th and then tell me that they're the 4 best teams in the playoff because I'm going to think you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. Pick a side. You're not John Kerry. Let's go. But I bring all this up to say, yes! This is what I want from Oklahoma, Alabama. This is the kind of knuckling up that I want. And with the awards shaking out the way that they have, oh goodness, this promises to be just as good as OU Texas Park Doe. And we know how that went for Oklahoma. All right, that's it for me. Doses.